Okay, so you're asking about how it somewhat compares to the X5S. Well, I don't have the X5S. I had to go look it up, um, look at a few pictures to see how it differs. And so this is my thought on the current state of the two available pass-through controllers for AR glasses, and I don't regret buying them, but when I thought about it, I was like, why? But to get back to your question, so I don't know how much the X5S weighs. The only two controllers I have from Viture is the original X2 and the original Galileo G8. So I will say, as far as weight goes, they weigh about the same as the G8 Galileo. When it comes to the Viture X2, so they probably weigh about 1.5 times the weight of the X2. So this is the new one for the iPad, the Absolute, and this is the one for Android by 8-bit DO. As you can see, the one for the iOS is quite a bit larger side to side. Triggers are a little chunkier and wider. So when it comes to the actual handles here, you can see this is has a lot more depth to it, but it's a lot more narrow than the iOS one. This one has more of a, when you got a phone in there, because of that narrowness and depth, it has more of a PlayStation feel, PlayStation controller feel down here. Other than that, and the triggers kind of feel like PlayStation. More than that, for the rest of it, feels like an Xbox controller. This pretty much just feels like a really wide Xbox controller. So, like I said, when it comes to the weight too, like I said, about 1.5 times the weight of the X2. But whenever I'm using the glasses with them, I usually have it resting on my legs, on my lap, so I don't really know how to explain the weight that you were asking about. But what I've learned about mobile controllers, because all my mobile controller, well, most of them, most of my mobile controller and tablet controllers, is the pass-through glass thing. Video is it's not as hyped up as it. I mean, or it's a lot more hyped up than it actually is. And the reason for that is because right now we only have the Viture. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but we only have the Viture glasses ones. And since Viture wanted to lock these to Viture, you're pretty much stuck with Viture glasses. But me, I don't like being stuck to certain glasses, like my X Reals, my Air Pro 2s. I like to use those for when I'm working. Rokids a little more for watching video. Viture playing games, but depending on where I'm at, I may be stuck with just my X Reel in my bag or my Rokids in my bag. And so having the controllers stuck to the Viture glasses is a problem. The actual best solution is to find a controller you like. and get the dongle, because this dongle actually works with Viture, Rokit, and actual glasses. Same thing with the Rokit adapter. I mean, it works for all three glasses as well. And you don't even have to buy, the actual Viture ones. They have cheaper options of these now, and they work for all the glasses. That's actually your best bet, because your situation may change a little bit, and also, so along with buying these, just get cheap little adapters. So a lot of things, one thing people don't realize a lot about these adapters, almost every single one of them, unlike the USB-C cords, where the USB-C cords, you have to make sure, pretty much always make sure your USB-C cord has video pass-through or carries a video signal. Not all of them do. Most of them are just data and power. But these little adapters, almost every single one of them. So these were the first ones I bought. AGP. These were $4 for I think it was pack of 6, $4.99 for a pack of 6. Cheapest ones on Amazon. All of these have video pass through. It's one-sided, just like the more expensive ones. I forgot what brand this was, but they all have they all carry video signal one-sided. So that means, like, if you plug the glasses in, you're not getting video. Just unplug the glasses, turn the cable around, and plug it back in. You'll most likely have video, because all these adapters, just about all of them, are fully wired, unlike USB cords. So yeah, you're better off doing that. Just finding a controller you like. Like, this is one of my favorite Bluetooth controllers. Cheap, unknown brand controller. And also, your phone situations may change. And so yeah, cheap little Bluetooth. And these are 2 cords you should find. So I have a right angle flat and a right angle vertical. Those will allow me to, because the reason I can't really give you the best answer is I have 4 different phones I use all day. So what I'm recording on right now is a Flip 5, and that's my main phone. And then I have my folds. The only basic regular phone I have is my iPhone. So yeah, these different controllers can be a real issue. Trying to find one for, one simple, one universal, one for all the different phones, especially since they're all weird shapes. But you can throw your phone in there. This cable has USB pass-through or video pass-through. Just plug it into where the power port is. Oops, actually I need a coupler for that. I forgot. It's been a while since I've actually had to use this. So there's your coupler. Connect to your cable. And then get yourself like some stick-on what is that shit called? I apologize for language. I am a Texan, and cussing is in our natural vocabulary. But get some what the fuck do they call that shit? Hook and loop sticky pads, so that you can Velcro. Get yourself some Velcro sticky pads, and you know you've got your Bluetooth, you know, charge and play ability right there. So, and then if you wanted to extend it even further, get yourself a little 6-inch USB splitter, and you know, plug it in and charge or control at the same time too. But what I'm just saying is, you know, buying these, you know, you're limiting yourself only to the Viture glasses in the long run. And you know, unless you know you're only going to be buying Viture, yeah, that'd be, you know, perfect for you. But I like to make sure I have more options. That's one of the things that, like I said, when I went to adapters and whatnot, and I'm still using those more than anything today. I mean, it's because of things, and you know, another problem with these, put this away real quick. This, you know, this is pretty much the same problem on every USB-C controller you can find. Nobody makes an elongated USB-C connector for their controllers. In fact, that's the reason why I'm not using either one of these very much. The only one I'm actually using the most often when it comes to a USB-C charge controller is the G8 Galileo. And that's because I've modded this one so it can take, you know, the most thick-ass case possible. Yeah, so hopefully that's in focus. So yeah, I've done a mod so that it's actually, I don't know if you can see the light flashing, but I think this is a 4mm thick case, and 3 or 4, it's a thick ass case. But yeah, so eventually I'll do that mod to those, and I may use them more often. But yeah, I mean, the glasses, the whole controller glasses thing, it's something you should really think about. Like I said, if you know you're going to stick with Viture, yeah, then, you know, pick a pair up. But if you want to have different options, you know, just get yourself a USB controller and some adapters. Because, like, you know, that's for phones and stuff, and I'm the type of person who, you know, I want to have compatibility with my Steam Deck, but I also definitely want to have compatibility with my tablet, even though the tablet is a large screen in itself. Sometimes when I'm laying in bed, I just want to plug this in, lay it on my lap just like I do the phone, and you know, be able to cache from that. And obviously with the controller, can't do that right now because I'm not sure if the extended mod works for this one like it does with some of the Viture controllers. And I just haven't been time to test that yet. But so, you know, just getting this an appropriate adapter, you know, gives you a lot more options for other devices. So like with this, I can put both my iPad mini and my iPad Pro it this one? Okay, no, this is the one that only fits the iPad mini. I want to fit the iPad Pro. Yep, that's right. Pop my iPad Pro there. We'll grab the adapter. Put those together, and then then I can lay down in bed, just lay down my legs, you know, connect my glasses, any one of them. You know, like I said, you'll have a lot more versatility long run. Like I said, I don't regret buying those controllers, the 8-bit DO or the Absolute, but you know, one of my hopes before I got the Absolute, I already knew when I got the 8-bit DO, I knew right off the bat that was locked to Viture. I was hoping they wouldn't do the same thing with the one from Absolute, but apparently they did. And there are no updates for the 8-bit DO one. And not only well, they're just my X reels. Not only are there no updates for it, the 8-bit DO software, updater software, doesn't even recognize it. So that's another problem with the 8-bit DO Android ones, or Android only ones, because the new one from Absolute does do Android and iOS. But as I said, you're stuck only to the Viture glasses, is something I don't like. And you know, with all the controller options and feels out there, you know, just having this little setup here, you know, these little adapters, that's just so much, gives you so much more versatility all around. You know, so those things will fit in a wide range of controllers that don't already have a USB port. You know, Bluetooth controllers like. So these are some of my favorite ones for Switch controllers. This one here, so you just fit the phone in there, and then you slide your Switch controllers into it. But they also I usually only play games on my iPhone. That's why I'm just showing y'all guys the iPhone. My Androids, I prefer to keep those as my business phones. So, you know, like this little device here. So it even has a cutout for a cord. So this one, use the right 90-degree vertical. That to the side there. Oops. I still got the case on the phone, so it's not going to plug all the way in. But if I took the case off, it'd plug all the way in. Use that, or we can use regular right angle adapter. And plug your charge and play thing there. And like I said again, some Velcro. You got your, if you like to switch controllers more. So yeah, and they are actually out of the way of the buttons. You just press the buttons. So yeah, just having those adapters give you a lot more versatility and utility than the video controllers. I mean, they're cool, but you know, sometimes they just, you know, aren't the thing. You know, at least with the adapter, you know, you can plug in any controller you want, or any video glasses you want. You don't have to worry about it being just Viture glasses, because yeah, I wouldn't be happy if I just had to use my Viture glasses. I should be quite pissed. So yeah, like there's another switch style. And then just like that one, I have the ability to plug in right there as well. Again, I've got the case on, so it's not going to plug in great. But, you know, so, like, the controllers are really great, really niche idea, but if you want to make sure you have more use out of your glasses, better off with the charge and play adapter. Like I said, there's a couple of third parties on Amazon now that work with all the glasses brands, and that's just a better option than being stuck to one type of controller. Because like I said, you get a little more use out of your glasses than just having to plug them into your controller. And plus, when you're on battery, if you're just playing on battery, you know, you already run where any power sources. You're not only having to power your glasses with your phone, you're also having to power the controller. I mean, the controller doesn't take much, but you know, anytime you're running off a phone battery, it doesn't take much to lose much. And this is mostly pure pass-through, so you don't have to power this and the glasses. You're just powering the glasses. So you know, I think that's your better option over just the controllers. Just the Viture controllers. Just get yourself some adapters and have a lot more different utility than being stuck with one brand. I hate proprietary shit. Don't get me wrong. I understand, you know, that was Viture's idea. We want to make sure, but it's you know, same reason I don't like using my iPhone for business, because I'm stuck only having to use the apps they feel oops, wrong way, they want to approve. And I've got old apps that can't use because, you know, iOS wants to force you to update, and I don't like that shit. You know, I like to have control over my items. So, yeah, as far as like how it feels in comparison to, what did you say, the G5S? I would assume, looking, because I had to go look at a video for what you're asking, and I would assume they probably weigh about the same. The feel, though, I'm pretty sure is quite different because I can see the way that G5S has just a lower bracket when your fingers curve around, and this one has a, you know, full back, so that may feel a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the, you know, controller with video, and you know you're just gonna want to use Viture. Yeah, I would say overall it's better than just the G5S by itself, but you know, if it were me and I knew what I knew before ordering those, or knew what I know now before ordering those, I probably wouldn't have ordered them. I probably would have just stuck with the adapters. Have more control over not only the device I'm using, but any devices attached to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.